Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Monday morning collaboration cafe, where we kick it around for about an hour, no more, just to share some ideas and help you with your business. And it's an open conversation. Everybody's invited. Invite your friends every Monday, unless it's a holiday. So today's what, the 17th already of July. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Hey, before we get into today's topic, which is 5 things you must do as a realtor every day, anything come up this weekend that anybody would like to share? Any issues with contracts, open houses, etc.? Anybody? No? Okay. Everybody see the screen okay? Give me a thumbs up. Yes? Cool. Okay. Look, this might be some very basic information, but let's face it, the basics always work, and they always will. So 5 things real estate agents should do every day. And then let's go through this, and then we'll kick it around the room. So wake up early. Wow, what a concept. For those of us who do, I do, I think most of us do. That's why we're on this call. You know, this is a business. Treat it like a business. You know, you've got to, if you had a 9-to-5 job, you'd be at the office at 9 o'clock, not at noon, right? So wake up early. The real estate business is extremely competitive. Thousands of people become agents every single day. That's true. By the way, I am sending out postcards to new agents in our area. Do you know that there's, I don't know, maybe 500 new agents eligible for the exam in Palm Harbor and Dunedin right now? 500. Okay. Great opportunities for us to grow the organization, get them into a coaching program, etc. So that's what I'm trying to do right now as well. Remember the day you took real estate classes? Everyone else in the classroom is now your competition. What better way to be competitive than waking up before the competition? According to NAR, there are approximately 86,000 real estate brokerage firms operating in the United States. For those of you who don't know, you will know, there are 1,000 brokerages in Pinellas County, okay? 1,000 brokerages, meaning most brokerages are 1- and 2-man mom and pop type shops. Okay. And obviously then you have the larger ones as well. Just imagine how many agents there are as well. We will share the same 24 hours in a day, and it all comes down to how we use our time. Waking up early allows you to get a head start on today's activity. Okay. Number 1, wake up early. Meet someone new, like David did in the bar or wherever, or at the open house like Suzanne did this weekend. Having a large network is essential to having a thriving real estate business. For those of you who are not on LinkedIn, I would suggest you go there every day and connect with realtors across the country to create a referral business for yourself. When I see somebody on Workplace, for example, looking to refer a buyer or seller to the Tampa area, I text them right away and saying, in the future, you no longer need to look for a referral resource in Tampa Bay. Just call me, because our team, you know, I want to help you guys. And if you're not looking for those things like I do on a daily basis, connections, creating business for ourselves and our teammates. The only way to have clients, though, is to know people. Different ways of doing that. The gym, walking, you know, get a realtor t-shirt, whatever. You know, we walk the neighborhood, my gal and I, every day. And on my postcard, it's the picture of both of us. And I say, see you around the neighborhood, neighbor. Something like that. So connections. A great way to meet people is attending events, becoming involved in your community, and even joining a charity. You know, the intent isn't to you want to do charitable things for the right reasons, but if that turns into business for you, that's great. Every day is an opportunity to meet someone new. Don't be afraid to strike up conversation like David did, right? When you meet someone, add them to Facebook or LinkedIn. It's a sure way to keep in touch. Drive around the neighborhood. This past weekend, we did an open house, but what did Suzanne do first? I'm picking on Suzanne and David because I know what they did this weekend. She went to the other homes in the neighborhood and previewed them, okay? So you know your competition. You know where the local Publix is. You know where the schools are. You know where the playgrounds are. Become an expert in your area. Different clients are going to like different styles of homes, and it's your job to point them in the right direction. Drive around the neighborhood. Post on social media every day. You should be posting on social media. And there are softwares that will do it automatically for you if you don't have the time. One of the first things I do every morning is go to Florida Realtors. I share a post from that's easy, just to, click on the Facebook or LinkedIn icon, make a comment, and it goes in there. I try to post things that are worthy of realtors reading it and educating them and us, okay? Social media is huge, as you know. I'm guessing that most of you wake up and what's the first thing you do? Get your phone, check your feed, see if anybody texted you, go to Facebook or LinkedIn, and educate yourself about something every day. I would try to take my own medicine here and do some type of reading that is going to help me in my real estate career. The industry is ever changing, as you know. There is always something you can become knowledgeable about. Unless you are a know-it-all, there is room for education, and no one is ever a know-it-all. So in conclusion, practice these 5 things every single day for 21 days. Form it into a habit. As you do these things, you will find much success in the real estate business. I go more into depth on a few things. Okay, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to take this link and I'll post it in the chat, and you'll have it. Okay.
Cool. Let me add some things, if I may, John.
Please do, guys. It's open forum time, but we'll try to keep it orderly. Go ahead, Terry. You're first.
All right. How many of you, show of hands, have read The Millionaire Agent? 90% of that book is out the door now. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Things are so different technology-wise that the old way of doing real estate just doesn't work anymore. You need the social media platform. You need to have these fingers going out there so that people know that you're in real estate. And we still deal with that problem, Dave, that people don't know that you're even in the business.
Yep.
Even I've been in real estate over 23 years. I still get that. And I'm all over social media. So imagine how bad that would be if you're not on social media.
Right. Yeah.
And I want to shout out to Michelle. She does an amazing job, and she really does. And she works constantly. But anyway, you got to be on that social media, and you got to think out of the box, guys. Try to just sit down and think about what other ways can I use to get in touch with people, to get to know people. Now, the things that still work are going to the functions, the realtor functions, the open houses, meeting somebody, just go to an open house and shake hands with the agent that does it. There's so many different things that you can do. The annual real estate function that we have, the name of it slips my mind at the moment, but I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about.
The Florida Realtors.
Yeah, there's literally thousands of real estate agents there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important to do that, and calling another real estate agent, no, it doesn't matter what company they're with, but call them up and say, listen, maybe we can do some referral business and share contact with them, because there's going to come a time that you're going to have a client contact you and you're not going to be able to go for whatever reason.
Right.
And you need somebody that you can trust that can take over for you in the meantime. Okay. So that's my 2 cents.
Thank you, Terry. Appreciate that. Anybody else want to comment? Raise their hands. Anybody? Go ahead,
John.
Go ahead.
So I've said this in the past, and this is something that I think every agent should do, or every mortgage, anybody in our business. And that is, okay, $1 a day spend on posting on Facebook, not posting, but doing an ad. If you run an ad, it's only $1 a day. And then if you run the ad to your contacts and you've uploaded them as a custom audience, how you're talking about staying in front of them, letting them know what you do. When you do an organic post, not many people see it, right? and really only a select few of your friends see it. But if you can continually be in people's faces, eventually they're going to see it, whether it's 3 weeks down the road, maybe 2 months down the road, maybe they talk to a friend who's selling their house. And because David was right, no, people really don't know what you do. If you think they do, they don't, because people have their own lives, right? When we close a deal with them, they're gone. They don't think of us a day after, right? But if we continually run some kind of reminder to them every day, it's like white noise, but then all of a sudden when you see it and you need it, and you're like, oh yeah, that guy does that, so just trying to stay in front of them. And when you do like organic posts too, and it's just things for them to read, people don't read, that they're not going to read. If you're going to do organic posts, at least do a video, at least make it a video and just say, but make it short, because if somebody sees that it's 5 minutes, they're not going to watch it. Just say, hey, Sean McManaman here. Just want to remind you all of the rates, or for me, just want to remind you all of this new program. Just want to remind you all what I do. Even though you may think it sounds corny, the one time that somebody's actually thinking about real estate, because you don't know when that's going to be, then you're gonna be the one that comes to their mind. So I just think continue and don't worry about it bothering people, because it doesn't, right? When they see it and they need it, then all of a sudden they're gonna call you. So I just think doing that consistent marketing on Facebook, Instagram. If you don't think TikTok is a thing. So I just started posting all my videos to TikTok. And so what I did was I promoted a couple of them. All of a sudden I've got 2 videos on TikTok and a couple agents reaching out to me. They're like 4,000 or 5,000 views. And it's nothing special. I definitely am not funny, and I'm definitely not entertaining. So I know it's not that. So it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe all of a sudden on TikTok. I'm like, I show my kids, they're like, dang, dad's blowing up on TikTok. And doing something like that, these videos, I make them really short, and I make sure I put words on it. Make sure you put words in your, captions in your videos. And all of a sudden, 2 of them are over 4,000 views in the last 2 weeks.
Wow. Thank you, Sean. And
Sean,
for us non-techie people, you can help us with some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Great. Hey, Sherry, I know you've got an event next week. I saw you just posted. Is that on the 25th evening?
Yes,
Okay,
there is. That's the 25th. I just posted the link for you guys. I'm also hosting the Pro Connect. Both of these events are perfect to meet realtors, new, old people that are getting really sick of their current brokerage. So please come out. And
okay.
Right now we have, I would say, 75 realtors signed up to come to this.
Cool. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll carpool from the office, because that's over in Tampa, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it, but if anybody wants to do that, we'll take a couple of cars. No need for all of us to be driving over there. So thank you, Sherry.
When is that again, please?
The 25th, the evening of. It's like 5 o'clock on the 25th, I think.
Well, I'd like everybody that's on the call, make a goal for yourself for next Monday's meeting. We are having a meeting, right?
Absolutely.
To bring one person with you on this call.
Mhm.
Because I'm telling you guys, this call is extremely valuable to you. If you implement these things, nothing's going to work if you don't implement them.
Yep, you're right, Terry.
So invite people to this call, and it doesn't matter where they're from. Just ask them if they'd be interested in joining a mastermind that we have every Monday.
Mhm. Right.
It would be great to see some new folks on here.
I agree. Before I'd like to have other people chime in and whatever you would like to talk about with these things, but I met a young agent last week, and these are things that we can all, and I try to implement too in our business. is look at, most of us are probably from somewhere else, right? We went to college somewhere, we went to high school, we might be in contact still with those, our friends from that college. How many of them might want to buy a second property in Florida? Or how many of them, know somebody who wants to buy in Florida? That's an easy connection on LinkedIn. You can go on LinkedIn and look up your alma mater, for example, people that are on LinkedIn that went to your high school. Very simple to do, simple little message, hey, and because a lot of them are still up in Buffalo in my case, or in Manhattan, or wherever they might be, or in Jersey. So why not make that connection? So, those are simple little things that you can cut and paste the same message over and over and over again. And that's just one of those 5 things that we just shared this morning about what we should be doing every day. Okay, who else has got some wisdom besides me? Go ahead, Ed.
And I,
Ed,
I had a fly in front of me, but I'll go ahead anyway.
go ahead, bud.
I think one of the key factors as a realtor is either the night before or the morning of, create your to-do list and make sure it's income related activities. Because at the end of the day, when you check off what you did, it just makes you feel better. Like you have a sense of accomplishment. I think that's extremely important.
I do the same thing, Ed. It's a fantastic idea. And what I do is as I finish one chore, I go up to the board and cross it off. And it gives you, like Ed said, it gives you such a feeling of accomplishment, and it helps you to move to the next item on the list.
Yeah.
Do it every single day.
Yeah, everything I listen to as far as like affirmations or positive thinking, it's always visual. Write it down, because then you've got a sense. Like I've got my vision board right here, and I agree with you. You need to write things down, have specific goals, not just random things. Just call 5 people. Which 5 people are you calling, for example? Specifics. Sherry, did you have a comment?
I did. And here's the thing. I've been in this business for what I like to call way too darn long. But I watch all these shows that they put up on TV. Ryan Serhant is my favorite. And on YouTube, he goes through structuring his day. And what I like about that is it is about the structure and the constant same thing. Now, I have my own checklist of things that I do each day, and I'm a big checklist girl because I've worked for attorneys. So it even has little things of waking up in the morning, having a coffee with my husband at 5. By 6, I'm on this computer. And and it has those little things that are like someone previously said, income generating opportunities versus the follow-up calls. Now I'm juggling 2 businesses. Not only am I juggling my EXP, but I'm also juggling the title that I run in Florida. So to have that checklist is so important. And Ryan Serhant does preach about really just making that structure every day, and don't fray from it. Don't get discouraged during a slow market, because some people will sleep during that slow market, right? But if we're up and we're active every single day, we control how this market goes. Right. So if you don't have a checklist and you don't have a vision board, start with those 2 things. I'm going to post what my vision board looks like. And I have it on my desktop computer, on my background on my computer, and even on my phone. So I see it every day, and it reminds me what are my goals for that.
Jerry, I have the same thing, so thank you. Look at Rose. I know you've got wisdom on this subject, so why don't you unmute Rose and share, please.
Okay, yeah, I'm a big checklist person. One time when I was teaching a class at Ruttenberg, I forget who it is, but someone who was real techie said to me, "Why do you write things down? Why do you have that list?" And I said, a couple reasons. Number one, my first Palm Pilot, I lost everything. And so I make sure I have a backup plan. And number two, there is, excuse me, satisfaction and crossing off something. And I usually, my list is kind of double fold. I have one side of the page is my real estate list and who I need to contact and what I need to do and what I need to learn at EXP. And then the other side is life, like the refrigerator repairman is coming today, those kind of things. I just couldn't exist without a checklist. It makes all the difference in the world, and it makes you more productive. And even in terms of learning all the new programs at EXP, I have a list of which ones I'm going to do next. And I want to thank Terry, because I see his posts every day, John, just like yours, and they're inspirational to me. I still have to get on his calls, but just seeing what he's doing, I admire that, and I really appreciate the time that you take, Terry, to do that for all of us.
Thank you.
Checklist is the name of the game.
Yeah, I agree. Anybody else want to share?
Does anybody here do video?
Yes.
So a lot of people don't because they're afraid and self-conscious, and they don't want people making rude comments or whatever the case may be. Who cares? Don't worry about other people. If they don't like it, they'll tune you out. So what I try to do is whenever I have a success, whenever I have a meeting and everything went positive, by the way, your meeting should be closed. Everything you go and meet with people, you should be closing. At least going for that close or setting up a follow-up immediately. Like the next step. We're not thinking about it. There's nothing to think about. It's either we're doing this and I'm the guy that's going to get it done, or you're going to hire somebody else that's probably going to tell you what you want to hear, and you're not going to get it done, and they're going to tell you to lower the price, lower the price, lower the price, lower the price. So let's get this done. You said you want to move. You're in a hurry. Let's go.
Let me
that attitude. I'm sorry.
Let me add something here. And don't be shy about this. I'm going to ask you a question. Be honest about it. How many people know the difference between a 20-year and a 30-year roof? You are a real estate agent. It is imperative that you know this information. You need to know what the different roofs are. You need to know what the different windows are, what they're made out of. You need to know whether it's a block home or a frame home. And as easy as that sounds, I've had arguments with people who had listings for frame homes that were block and vice versa, because they simply didn't know how to check these things.
Yep.
As a real estate professional, if you want to avoid negative comments, you need to know construction. If you have to go to a contractor and say, explain this to me, they're going to be happy to do that, especially if you're selling their homes. Find out about construction, guys. Learn about 3-tab shingles. Learn about asphalt shingles, tiles, different tiles. How many of you knew that there's concrete tiles? Most people don't. There's, they know of ceramic tile on the roof, but not concrete. And there is a big difference in the two. The different floors out there, laminate, tile, all that stuff. These are things as a real estate professional that you can talk to about your clients when you're showing them houses. Point these things out, because I got to tell you, I've had so many clients tell me, Terry, I've learned more in 15 minutes about houses than I've ever learned before. And it's because I've studied this stuff. Mm-hmm. When I go into a home, I already know what is an upgrade. Okay. And I point those upgrades out. If there's damage, point it out. Because if they see it and they believe you saw it and didn't say anything, then they're going to lose trust in you.
Right.
That's simple. And that's something that you never want to happen. You want somebody to be completely trustworthy in you. Now, if you see damage, and you say to them, you point out the damage and you say, listen, if this house is perfect in every way for you, I'll be happy to find out what it would cost to make these repairs so that you know before you jump in. All this little stuff that you can do secures, because it's not about selling a house to this person. You get that, right? It's about selling a house to their family, their friends in the future.
Mhm.
And eventually you won't have to worry so much about advertising yourself, because you're going to have so many good customers. They're going to stay in touch with you. Don't get out of touch with the customers that you sold a house to. These customers are everything to you. And agents tend to just, once they sell a house, they tend to walk away from it. Don't do it. Stay in touch with these people. Find out what their birthday is. Find out what the name of their dog is, their children, what their birthdays are. Use all of these reasons. This is one thing in the $1 million agent that does hold true today. Stay in touch with your past clients and use every excuse you can to shout out at them. Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, Hanukkah, birthdays, anniversaries, dog, cat, whatever, doesn't matter. Just to say in something short and sweet. Don't waste their time. Don't print a book, just a short little paragraph, so that, because I tell you what, somebody said it earlier, they don't tend to read these things. They don't read them because they're mundane. So we don't want them mundane. You want to hit them with a statement that grabs their attention. And the only way you're going to do that is to think about what you're going to say. Now, what I want you to do is, when you're getting ready to do this, you need to think about you reading this. Does it grab my attention? Does it help me in a way that, man, this is pretty cool? That's what I do. When you write something, you read it back to yourself. With this, grab my attention. The subject line is vital. If the subject line doesn't grab their attention, they're not even going to open it.
Thanks, Terry.
Can I make a couple comments on that?
Sure, of course, Terry. Go ahead.
First of all, I am the master of writing books and emails, right? And someone told me once, people do not read more than 5 words.
Mhm.
And number 2 is, some of the new schoolers won't do this, but I know some older, more seasoned agents, and I as well. I write handwritten little note cards, no matter what, to make sure that they have more personal feeling, because everyone gets all these little pre-printed cards, which are awesome. But when you've actually done business with a person, getting that handwritten note could make all the difference, because it's a more personal situation where you actually show them that you do care. Again, not staying out of their reach, even if it is every other week, every month. Hey, how's it going? The last thing I want to say is that I did an open house for someone this weekend, and the carpets were just atrocious. They bred dogs in that home. And my husband, who's in the real estate course right now, he was with me. And when these people are asking, and I said, well, what don't you like about the house, that you'd like to see in your next one? And they said, well, this is a great house, but the carpets are atrocious. My husband, he did his research on, we have a spreadsheet on contractors and some estimates on maybe some normal room sizes, which is normally like a 10 by 12. And he was able to rattle off like that what an estimate would be to recarpet those 4 bedrooms. I mean, that's someone who's really thinking about putting in an offer on that house, even if it is a little lower, or we're asking for a seller credit. To have that information at hand is key and vital. And I don't know anything about construction, seeing me with a hammer is probably the most hilarious thing you've ever seen. But without my husband there having that knowledge, it's untouchable.
Yeah. Sherry, I think you made a real good point, and it's part of one of those 5 things that we chatted about that we should be doing every day, and that's educating ourselves. Terry mentioned it as well. And look, it's a process. We don't, for our newer agents on this call, even those of us who've been in the business for over 20 years, we still learn things, because every home is different. Every potential buyer and seller is different. So things change and you learn something new. But Terry and Sherry have shared some great information here. Yeah, we need to educate ourselves. And yeah, you should have a basic knowledge of, hey, what a bedroom would cost to have recarpeted as well. And Sherry, may I make a suggestion too? Because sometimes, we are doing other agents open houses. And especially if they're vacant, it may be worth a trip to go and preview it before you get there. I know that we've had a couple instances come up where it's like, this place should not have been held open. No air conditioning on, it looked terrible, it smelled bad. So just do yourself a favor. Because like in this case, it wasn't your listing, you didn't know, maybe you didn't have time to preview it. But I'm talking about another colleague of ours who it just was not a good place to do an open house. So it's great opportunities for future buyers, but just words for the wise there. Okay, go ahead, Terry.
Another, just to piggyback, John, be very careful about what condition you put on the MLS for a house. I'm sure all of us that have been in the business any length of time have gone to a house that said it's in excellent or good condition and get in there and it's really bad.
Yep.
And the only reason they're doing that is they're thinking that they'll get more people in there to see it. No, all they're doing is pissing everybody off.
Sure. People
want to see what they want to see. If you say the house is in excellent condition, it better be. So you got to be very careful with that.
Yep, you're right, Terry. Any other words of wisdom? I'll have to go ahead, Terry.
Also, FHA. Like John said, if you preview a house, you're going to eliminate these embarrassments. If you've seen the house already and it's a house that your client said they wanted to see, you can say, listen, we can go see this house, but I was there yesterday or I was there this morning and I got to tell you, the house needs a lot of work. Then they're going to say, thank you for saving my time, because that's what you just did. So.
Thank you, T. Any other comments, anybody? Michelle, you're sitting quietly there. I see you. Unmute there.
Sorry about that. No, I mean, I don't disagree with anything that's being said. It's all good advice. So thanks,
I know
guys.
you've always got some good information as well. I'd like to pick on you once in a while. So thank you. All right, well,
sorry, I have to confess I'm multitasking.
That's fine. Go ahead, David.
That's the only way I can keep up with all you guys.
Good for you. Go ahead, Dave.
I want to hear John
typically,
say
if I'm
another
curious
story.
about what it's going to cost to redo a roof or an air conditioning or a water tank and so on and so forth. I mean, there's a cheat sheet. You could do that, but it's a moving number right now with the marketplace and everything because of inflation and everything else, labor costs. So, I mean, I just go to Google and I'll say how much for a new roof, 2,000 square feet, and it'll give you a couple of options in regards to plugging in calculators that will, plug in. So if you're looking at, you're working with a buyer and the buyer's like, oh my word, it's going to cost $100,000 to fix this place. You say, that's a possibility, but let's take a look at that. And then come back with some numbers, do some research and say, listen, I spoke with some people. I looked up some numbers, I mean, the layout's great. You said you like it. The location's what you're looking for. Just needs a little love, right? So if we take a look and see what it needs, I mean, there's an upgrade and then there's a need, right? So in order to pass a 4-point inspection, I do that with my buyers and my sellers. How old's the AC? How old's the roof? What about the plumbing? Are there any leaks? Look under the sinks, and electrical. And I mean, a water tank is probably $700
at least,
maybe 8. A roof, 2,000 square feet, including the garage, roughly. You're probably looking at about 12, 13 grand. somewhere in there, just from my experience. Air conditioning used to be, 6, 7's probably $8,000 now.
And
You
then
know?
I'm sure most of you know that, insurance is really changing the way we do things now. And
Yep.
if a roof is 15 years or older, a shingle roof, it's going to have to be replaced. So keep that in mind when you're listing a property. If it's going to be a finance buyer, they're going to need a new roof. Go ahead, Colleen.
I actually sold something off the MLS from another well-known agent, and it was called the Homeowner's Questionnaire. And I give that when I go to a listing appointment, and it has everything on it, like the age of the roof, the refrigerator, all the appliances.
Yep.
And then it also has in there all the electric bills, who you pay, Duke, Tico, and what their average is. And then it has anything else, swimming pool, how deep is it? I've been asked that question a ton lately, the depth of a pool. I never even thought about that before. So if you want, I can share that.
Yeah,
and
please
then,
do.
because it's been very helpful. And then I make a feature sheet and list it in the MLS also.
Wonderful. Great ideas. Thanks for sharing that. Hey, Charity, I don't know, have we met?
I think so on the last Wednesday meeting, perhaps briefly.
Wonderful. Okay, wonderful. So, well, why don't you introduce yourself to those who don't know you?
Hi, I'm Charity Schrader. I'm brand new. Haven't done much yet other than attend these meetings and start to implement all these things that I'm learning on these meetings. I'm a teacher in the Newport Richey area. So I just finished summer school. So I'm now like diving headfirst into real estate now that I have some free time.
Well, congratulations. Welcome aboard. You've aligned with a great group here. And if you need any help at all, just ask. Okay.
Sure. Thanks.
Yeah, wonderful. Any last comments on what we chatted about? I want to bring up something that's important. Go ahead, John.
I tried something this last week that seemed to get a really good response, and it kind of integrates what you were talking about with social media. Is I've been really passive since I moved to Pine Island, and it doesn't seem like I'm like invisible. Nobody knows I'm here, my business, what have you. So the Chamber of Commerce had a big event, Mango Mania, they call it. So what I did is I talked to the chamber director, and she gave me the okay and gave me some names and numbers. And I went around to different businesses that were going to be having booths at the event, interviewed them. Then I posted it on my business page, and then I copied and pasted that post to all the groups on Pine Island. There's 5, 6, 7, 8 groups that are major groups, and it had, event coming up on Pine Island. So each day I made a new post, and it really, my stock went way up with the Chamber of Commerce. All the businesses were talking about it, coming up to me, telling me what great posts they were, how it helped bring people out. And then I got a lot of likes, people following my page now, because all the posts had Hotsfield real estate on them. But it wasn't about me, it was about the community.
Brilliant. So you did a video, John? You interviewed them via video?
Yes, by video, and just
Wonderful.
short videos, but it was really positively received. And then I'm now following up with some videos about the event and putting them out on the groups.
Brilliant.
Just to thank everybody for coming out, what have
Well
you.
done.
So
Hey, thanks for sharing that. Well done.
it made me not so invisible.
Good. One day at a time, right?
Yeah.
Anybody else? As I'm sure most of you know, the FAR contract has been recently updated. They added some verbiage to it. So when you make sure when you are writing an offer, you're using the most recent FAR as is, which 99% of all transactions are, right? Transaction Desk has it updated. It's 13 pages now. There's some added verbiage to it that we must use the latest contract, okay? You may have gotten an email last week from Ann Shaheen asking you to do an addendum for anything that was written previous to July 1st. So it's just a protection. It's another CYA type of form that we need to ask our customers to sign. So if you don't know about that, let me know. I will make sure you know about it. But the new contract is 13 pages. It's kind of odd. There's a page there between, I think it's page 12, which is half blank, but that's the way they formatted, I think, for future changes. So again, use transaction desk for your forms, okay?
I'm wondering what's going to come of that, John. The Florida passed a law that we're not supposed to sell property to people from China and other areas, but I don't know how that's going to fly, but we'll
Anyways,
see.
you know what, we can bring that up at another future date. Go ahead. Somebody wanted to say something, Sherry?
Yes, two things is I believe that the section that says what is included in the property, like stove, refrigerator, range, just note that it does not say washer and dryer. That's number one. They still haven't changed that from the last one. And number two, I am more than happy to send everyone on this call my underwriter's take on that new, on the new law, rule, whatever, that excludes those countries,
Okay.
along with the legal stuff on that. So I believe I'm friends with everybody on Facebook that's on this call, and I can send that to you from a title and underwriting counsel.
Yeah, please, Sherry. And just wanted to let you know, I had a conversation with David Bennett last night. David's the president, CEO of Pro. And for those of you who have heard about the National Association lawsuit regarding commissions, I'm going to get David on a future Monday to share their NAR's opinion on that, just so you know. So I think I don't know if it's going to affect us, but we need to be in the know. So just watch your calendars and just be here on a Monday and you won't miss it. Okay. Any final thoughts? Anybody? Tyler, thank you for joining us. Shelley, thank you very much. You got our numbers. Sean, really quickly, what are rates doing?
So we had, yesterday or Friday was Thursday was a great day as far as rates go. With the reports coming out, CPI, PPI showing inflation dropping or under control, I think we're really heading into a good place now. We're in the mid sixes, and as long as things keep moving and there's no spike in inflation, you're going to see rates probably trending down into the lower sixes. And that's where we want to be. We want to be in the anything with a 5 in front of it, I think, is going to change our market. And it's coming. It's just a matter of when's that going to happen. We'll see. And one of the things that I want everyone to know is I moved over to the broker world. I mean, I know a lot of people don't know the difference between retail lending, broker lending. And so I have a lot more options. There are so many products out there that will help you. If you come across buyers you don't think are pre-approved, make sure you reach out to me, because I just did a deal with a bridge loan so that they didn't have to sell their house, but they don't have to make a payment on that bridge loan till they close on selling that house. I mean, it's a great program. So there's a lot of those things out there, but rates, I think, are hanging in there pretty good. And I think you're going to start seeing it trending down.
Good. Hey, Sean, thanks for always being there and your help with social media. Go ahead, Terry, real quick.
Yeah, I want to invite everybody to come to my Facebook page. It's Terry Hooker EXP Realty, not Terry Hooker Realtor. Terry Hooker EXP Realty. The reason is because I have a couple posts on there that talk about the different roofs, the different windows, construction, that kind of thing. Okay.
Thank you, Terry.
It'll help you.
Thank you. Thank you. Any last comments, anybody? Joanne, have fun up in Carolina. Chris Rebar, thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Christopher. And Rose, I hope you're feeling better. I know Rose is a little bit under the weather. So gang, we're here for you. Have a great week. And until next Monday, and let's plan on going to Sherry's event Tuesday night. We can carpool from the office and we'll go together as a group. Okay. All right, all. Great day. Be well.